you're talking about 50 to 56 micro farms. Okay, now each micro farm is it's kind of rented out to a client. That means that you as a client can say that I'm going to pick up this micro farm, 10 beds, okay, and I want you to grow only leafy vegetables and green lettuce for me. I just want that organic. Because in my family, we eat a lot of leafy vegetables. Or any other client who says, I want to grow more of broccoli and cabbage and maybe less of rooty vegetables. So which means that in 1 acre, you're actually catering to specific customized requirements of 56 families. And these 56 families are paying you in advance for a season. Season means 4 months. Okay. So till now, if you owned any land, the most obvious thing that came into your head was, let me produce vegetables and sell it. Let me tell you one thing. With about 6-7 years of experience in fruit and vegetable retail, I can tell you one thing. At the end of the day, you don't make money. Okay, you're investing a lot of money in developing your farm. Then you are growing vegetables, you're harvesting the vegetables, and once again, you are investing money at a point of sale, okay, to retail those vegetables, and there's no way in the world you'll be able to sell 100% of those vegetables. So the day you're selling, you're not able to sell 10%, you're facing 10% loss. You're not able to sell 20%, you're facing 20% loss. So my advice to entrepreneurs is that you should not take that conventional model. Convert your farm into a collection of micro farms. And why would people pay for it? It's very simple. They are paying a subscription for fresh organic vegetables that are being grown by a company, a credible company, such that they don't have to invest their time in growing those vegetables. They're only paying a seasonal rent for that space as well as for the services. So basically, the vegetables are coming free of cost. Whatever is being grown, that comes to them. Okay, they are most welcome to come to their micro farm every Saturday or Sunday, bring their children, bring their parents, and pluck the vegetables themselves. I know this sounds utopian. This sounds very bookish. But I am very convinced about this model. Because it's working in the West, and these 4 companies here in Delhi have already started showing good results from this model. Now, instead of raised beds on the land, let's say you don't own a farmhouse, okay, but maybe you've got a building which has got a large rooftop. Okay, so just the way we are saying that 10 raised beds is equal to 1 micro farm, similarly, about 6 to 7 portable farming system could also be treated as 1 micro farm, which means that your client need not receive vegetables from any farmhouse outside the city. Your client can receive vegetable from the rooftop of your building, okay, or you could even tie up with a school, maybe a Sarkari school or a Sarkari hospital. Any building which has got a vacant rooftop can be converted into a commercial farm. So I'm talking about commercial farming, but commercial farming with a twist. As an entrepreneur, you're receiving the money on day 1. Okay, and even if you're working on 1 acre of farm, where you have 56 micro farms, you're only talking about 56 clients. You don't need the entire national capital region. You just need 56 families who would be interested to spend that kind of money. And what kind of money that we are talking about? So what kind of money that we are talking about? We are only talking about maybe 16 to 20,000 rupees as a rent for 4 months. That means maybe 4,000 to 5,000 rupees per month. Why would anybody spend on it? because he is getting fresh organic vegetable from a credible source. You may get organic vegetable in a shop. I have visited a couple of Safal shops. Okay, the problem is since it's Safal, you can trust them. But the problem is that you don't get the entire basket of vegetables. Right? The availability is an issue. And the other thing is, since I have worked very closely with Safal during my days in Walmart and in Reliance Fresh, most of their captive farmers, most of their dedicated farmers, particularly the organic ones, are high up in the hills. More towards Uttarakhand and Himachal, which means that the organic vegetable that you're getting at a Safal counter has been harvested 48 hours ago. It's not really fresh. Okay, so I'm not saying that should be taken off the market. All that I'm saying is that we can think intelligently and work on a subscription-based model. That's called microfarming. And that's a business model that Living Greens wants to popularize both on land as well as on the rooftop. Okay. Okay, so let me just change gears here. So this is another business domain that we are operating in. So this is called vertical gardening or green walls. Ji. No problem, ma'am. I'll get in touch with you. So green walls. So green walls, typically who are our clients? Hotels, hospitals, offices, retail showrooms, schools, homes. Let me tell you one thing. Any plant nursery wala can create a green wall. Okay. But there are very few nurseries that I have come across who can create a green wall and keep it green for 2 to 3 years. It's not as simple as putting just vertical pots and putting some plants there and putting a drip irrigation system. It's not as simple as that. There's a huge amount of science that goes behind it. Okay, so and we prefer to work with institutions. So why I'm emphasizing on this is that I would want my business partners not to waste their time on greening the balconies. There's another method of greening the balconies that we'll come to, but we prefer to work with large institutions. And our best customers have been large companies who wanted to invest their CSR funds into greening the city. Okay, so I'll show you this picture. This is at the Udaipur railway station. Okay, and this is a 110 feet long wall, green wall. And this wall has been put on a wall. So before the green wall, this was an open air urinal. 110 feet long urinal was there. So people used to get down from the train and relieve themselves on this wall. Dirtiest, stinkiest place in Udaipur railway station. And today, matter of pride. So why I'm showing you this picture is that this project was funded by one of the largest mining companies, maybe in the world, which is called Vedanta, owned by Mr. Anil Agarwal. Okay, so this was from the corporate social responsibility funds of Vedanta. This is just to show you that even at private residences, there are people who would be interested in going vertically green. So this is at the office of a very well-known cosmetic brand which has originated from Delhi. That's called Blossom Couture. So this is at one of the outlets of Blossom Couture. This is at a hotel and a private residence. So green walls are becoming very, very popular. Almost at every large airport you will find green wall. Okay, incidentally, the National Airports Authority of India has given away about 8 large airports to private sector companies like GMR and GVK, right? But the rest of them remain with the National Airports Authority of India. Now the interesting thing is that NAI has sent strict and straight directives to each of these airports that they are supposed to go vertically green inside the airport. Which means that in an airport, basically you get a very long hall, very large hall, where they use separators, and then the shops are created between those separators. So now there is a planning going on where those separators will become green separators. Okay, so that's another big business opportunity that is available. Benefits of green walls, I'll not go much into that, but we know how to pitch it. I'll leave that part. Okay, this is something very interesting that I saw at a station in UK. So there's a station called Banrock Station. And the beautiful thing about this is that this is bringing together two things: printed art and plants. Okay, so this inspired us to create a concept called living billboard. So while the world is getting familiar about the concept of green walls, we are moving one notch up, and we are now developing these living billboards. So a living billboard is like a green branding billboard that can be used by a company or a hotel or a hospital. And the interesting thing is that the theme of this billboard can be changed almost every month. Okay, just by realigning the plants and realigning the printed surfaces. Right, so which basically means that let's say there's a large hotel, a Shangri-La, and let's say you have got a green billboard like this outside Shangri-La. But just to make sure that people who are crossing that hotel on a regular basis, just to make sure that they are curious to know what is coming next, so the living billboard, the theme of the living billboard can change. But that's not very possible in a green wall, because in green wall there is no such thing as a theme. Whereas in a living billboard, you can create a theme by bringing together printed art and plants. Okay, so I'll just let that go. Right, so this is another system that we had created. Looks very simple, but it's very effective. So this is for vertical gardening of edible herbs in balconies. The only condition is that the balcony must receive at least 3 to 4 hours of uninterrupted sunlight. If the balcony is not receiving sunlight, then instead of edible plants, we can move to ornamental plants. So when we are talking about growing edible plants in this, it's not just edible vegetable plants, we can even grow microgreens in this. We can also grow some aromatic and medicinal plants like stevia, tulsi, sweet basil. We can grow those kind of plants also in this. So we want to promote this concept, particularly in cities like Delhi, where people living in flats, the population of people living in flats is much higher than people having an open rooftop. So even for flat owners, we want to offer this as something that they can do in their balcony. So when it comes to edible herbs, we have grown lettuce in this, we have grown spinach. Almost every edible herb we have grown in this, whether it's celery, parsley, sweet basil. So this is tried and tested stuff. And the other good thing about this product is that all the water that is percolating down, that is caught in a bucket and then recycled. Okay, so the water that is going to percolate down, okay, will get collected in a container, and then we put the motor in it, and then that motor basically runs the drip irrigation system. So it's a closed loop irrigation system. Okay, and we also have the ability to paint themes on the containers. So these are some very basic themes, but we can go even more advanced. We can paint Disney cartoons also on this, or yoga theme, or health theme, or anything. So basically these containers, so this, your vertical gardening system also becomes a work of art, and then subsequently you're growing edible herbs in it. Okay, this could even be proposed to hotels and restaurants who would like to offer freshly harvested herbs to some of their premium clients. So for example, something like this could be installed on a wall or even on a frame next to a pool in a hotel, where the hotel is offering breakfast facility next to the pool. So you can actually harvest edible herbs from this, mint, oregano, spinach, and offer it as a salad right there. I also appreciate the fact that I am offering a product which does require local service support. And I don't want to shortchange anybody. So while people are very interested in saying, can we buy your product? We'll be able to do our gardening yourself. But my conscience starts